live on YouTube. And where are we on? Okay, it looks like we are live on Facebook. And good morning, my friends and followers, my Facebook friends and followers. It is July 5th already. The year is more than half over, 2025. And can I describe it as a bizarre year? Yes, I can. At any rate, welcome. This week has been a wonderful, wonderful week for me because as I introduced last Saturday on my Facebook Live and YouTube that I was going to develop a digital book. The title of the book, the working title of the book is, and I'm sure it's going to be the final title, is Grandpa David, What's an Entrepreneur? This was a question that my granddaughter, my oldest grandchild, Eloise, asked me 5 years ago when she was 7 years old. She asked me, what's an entrepreneur? We'll get into that in a moment. What else happened this week? Thursday night, I was attacked by a Rottweiler. Oh my Lord! It's a really bizarre story, and I believe I might have been set up. At any rate, I was talking to the owner of the dog, who actually is occupying the apartment that I lived in for 5 years up until 7 months ago. I was over visiting a friend, my friend Bill behind, and she came over to talk, and she said, my name is Sam. I assumed it was Samantha, which it was. And she extended her hand to shake my hand. She extended hers first. Oh, I had asked her when I first saw the dog, I said, can I pet the dog? And she said, no. And I stepped back. So then later on in the conversation, she went to introduce herself, and she extended her hand. I extended my hand. As soon as I did, the Rottweiler attacked me. Oh, and it was fortunately did not break the skin. There were some teeth marks. I think they kind of went away, but the black and blue is still there. The reason that it turned so black and blue, it was undue stress to my body. I have been taking a blood thinner, an anticoagulant, warfarin, for over 31 years now, and it's because I have a St. Jude's mechanical heart valve. That's why I take a blood thinner so that clots don't get into the valve and go right to my brain. And I believe the lights, well, actually, the lights had a chance to go out once, but they didn't. That's interesting. They actually did. At any rate, I bruise easily. I don't even know it sometimes. In this case, I knew I was getting bruised. But had it broken the skin, well, I might not have made it to the hospital because of my blood thinner. I could have bled out right there. she would really feel bad if that. Oh Lord. Okay, and then I survived. Yesterday, I read an email, uh, and I wanted to share it with you because, well, you'll be evident in a moment why I want to share it with you. The author uh, of the email is John Assaraf, and John is a marketing and sales guy like myself. Probably, I'm not sure. He might be as many as 15 years younger. Not really sure about that. But I've been following him for probably 10 years. And he goes through these periods. Sometimes he's very noisy, and other times you don't hear from him for a while. Well, we're into a noisy time right now. He probably has something he wants to sell. But the subject title, the subject of the email, your voice isn't yours. The voice in your head, the one telling you what you can and can't do, that's not actually your voice. Uh, I'm not, well, he goes on to say, I know that sounds weird, but stay with me for a second. David Leopold. Uh, I hear that voice often. I probably, not probably, I heard it earlier today, and I realized that it's not exactly my voice. It's coming out of my brain, but it's a collaboration that I have with God, and it's good collaboration. It's a good collaboration. At any rate, he goes on to explain. C, neuroscience research shows that the internal dialogue most people experience is actually a collection of other people's voices. Your third grade teacher who said you weren't smart in math. If I might digress for a moment on that one to relate a personal story, Miss Strauch, who was my third grade teacher, she had a feeling how smart I might have been in math. She was great. It wasn't until my sophomore year in high school, my English grammar teacher in front of the class, and we had a small class, it was a special class, 12 students. In front of the class, she would belittle me and told me that I write like a third grader. She actually did, and she did it more than one time. So I've actually devoted my publishing career in part to the challenge that she gave me as a sophomore in high school. Your brain literally recorded these external voices and made them your internal soundtrack. You're not assessing some deep personal truth. You're playing back someone else's limiting beliefs that got downloaded into your subconscious years ago. I'm going to have to ask my friend David Amerlin if he actually totally agrees with that statement. He is an expert on the brain, the mind, how it works, and as you know, he and I have been having conversations on uh, on YouTube for over 11 years. But here's what's wild, though. John goes on to say, most people go their entire life never questioning these inherited thoughts, and that's where I thought you might be interested if you don't hear those voices. Uh, think about this: if someone walked up to you and said half the things your inner voice says to you, you probably would tell them to take a walk, and said, "Oh, half the things your inner voice says to you." Uh, the breakthrough happens when you start treating the internal voice like any other opinion. And just like any opinion, you can question it, challenge it, decide whether it serves you, replace it with something better. So try this experiment. And I agree with him on those. You absolutely can question it, change it, decide it. Try this experiment. Pause for a moment and ask, whose voice is this really? I maybe should have done that at a pass. Is this actually true, or is this just old programming? Or a new player in town is that AI inner voice that millions of us are getting. And that will be a good segue into my conversation about my digital book that I'm working on, because it's an AI, maybe it's an AI novel. I don't know. So that's really all I, oh, and John he signs his email, The Brain Whisperer. It was a good email. I enjoyed it. Definitely thought provoking. And that's not what I wanted. You'll have to excuse me. Just using
N November. P Pop A Alpha. N Nova D Delta P A Grandpa. Cat D Delta. A Alpha. V Victor I India. D Delta.
Oh, geez. This is interesting because I now have 3 Apple devices. I have my MacBook Pro that is that camera. I have my iPhone, and now have an iPad, which I've had for just about less than a month, about 3 weeks, and I'm just getting used to it. But it's a piece of equipment that I should have had a long time ago, because it actually does make what I am doing much more efficient. So uh, let's get started with something I wrote. I've started writing. Grandpa David, what's an entrepreneur? The ABCs of entrepreneurship: business, any size, marketing, sales, value, trust. Uh, the title, What's an Entrepreneur? I'm calling it the ABCs of entrepreneurship: business, any size business, marketing, sales, value, and trust. Uh, Next comment: this digital book and accompanying videos are dedicated to my oldest grandchild, Eloise, who asked me this provocative question 5 years ago when she was 7. She asked me, Grandpa David, uh, what's an entrepreneur? And I gave her I gave the first two sentences. I'm sure she did not understand them. I was doing my bantering, but the third statement that I made to her was that Eloise, uh, I will spend the rest of my life teaching you, showing you what an entrepreneur is. So Eloise doesn't know this yet, but next month, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to Dallas, God willing, to celebrate her 12th birthday. And one of my presents to her is going to be some form of the book, and showing that the book was motivated by her asking me the question. And I started to, I've been playing around with some they're AI tools. One's called Instadoodle, and it allows me to do some illustrations. And I'm trying to, I'm doing things. It's taking me a lot longer than it should be taking me, and I'm not getting 100% of what I want, but at least I'm trying to get it. And also, I'm exploring uh, because because it's a digital book. There are um, many options for me to actually publish the book, and I'm getting emails because somewhere along the line they picked up that I'm interested. I'm getting lots and lots of uh, probably AI generated emails about what AI technology platform should I be using. I know which one I'm going to be using for the most part. I just don't know to what extent yet. So I'm in exploration of those things. However, I did spend uh, just a couple days now um, creating the words, the ABCs of entrepreneurship. Well, let me also step back again and explain that. And if you follow me, you've heard the story probably 155 times that I published this book in 2007. How do you answer these 749 questions about your small business? And it, I spent 100 days, literally 100 days from the time that I started to organize my thoughts till I was holding up a book that I had worked with a printer, uh, a friend, to manufacture the book. It was 100 days, and it was, needless to say, the most fascinating 100 days, business days in my life, because it was just the entire 24/7 was somehow dedicated to generating the book, and I loved it. It was a great experience. Wow, the book was specifically designed to be a workbook where uh, the intent was for uh, small business owners, any business owner, and students of entrepreneurship to get the book and to take notes on any of the 749 questions what they thought were pertinent to what it is they were doing or what it is they wanted to learn about. So uh, the book actually got into the hands of close to 5,000 students right here in Cincinnati. They were grade school students, they were middle school students, high school students, and even there was a college class at the University of Cincinnati. A friend of mine, Dr. Chuck Matthews, his graduate class, and I went to his class and presented, and it's just a great thing. But after and the book, I on January 1st, 2008, I had a book launching party, and um, uh, the book was out. And very early on, I was getting lots of criticism that they uh, liked the book, uh, but they wanted answers to the questions. Of course, they did. They wanted at that time, what, 50 years? No, is 40 years, 45 years of experiences. They wanted the answers to the questions. And had I actually provided the answers to the questions in the book, it would have taken me at least another year to get it all done. Uh, so uh, I took it to heart, though, that I wasn't providing the answers to the questions. People want answers. And so I started to produce live stream YouTubes as I am doing right now. I started 17 years ago, and have produced over 3,000 hours of content, 3,000 hours of content of uh, entrepreneurship, business, big or small, marketing and sales value trust. Those are the things that 99.9% of my brain is focused upon, and well, the business part of my brain. And so I went on, and in those 3,000 hours, I had over 500 conversations with folks. David, he and I have probably done at least 10, maybe a dozen conversations over the years. You can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@David F. Leopold, and you can actually, they're only archiving now the last 11 years. The first 6 years are on cyber on servers and cyber cloud in the cloud someplace, I don't know where. But there's lots of great information, lots of wonderful conversations that I've had with folks over the years. So I said to Eloise, I'm going to show you. I'm going to spend the rest of my life showing you. And now it's time, Eloise. We're going to digitally publish the book. I'm not sure how it's going to look when I publish it, because it's going to be in a lot of different pieces, but we're going to try to, well, I think what's going to happen, I know what's going to happen. I will produce the book, and I'll publish the book, and then monthly, this year, the months of October, November, and December, I will, in those 3 months, introduce the book, and each month I will have a different video, something that is pertinent to happening right now, so that on the 1st of October, November, and December, folks who subscribe to the book will get it in those months in a video email. I developed a very proprietary video email concept, and it will. That's how we'll use to distribute the book and a video every month. So it's going to come out in publicly in October, maybe sooner, but for sure October, November, December, we will have video emails. I designed, well, here's my video. Here's my email address currently. If you have any questions, comments, whatever that you want to share with me, if you send me an email, dleopold@davidsbarter.com, I will positively give you an answer. I won't promise timeliness, because the emails are starting to get in. But back when this envelope, I designed this envelope in 2007, and I was going to use it to market the book, copy of the book, with the line, "Give the gift of entrepreneurship learning." Give the gift of entrepreneurship learning. So I'm going to use that theme to market and sell the book, the video emails in October, November, and December. The price, the working price is $29.99. $29.99 for the 3 months, and the way that someone is going to subscribe, anybody, is to Zelle me, Zell me, or Venmo me the $29.99 to well, I'll appropriately give my phone number, you will Zelle or Venmo to that phone number, and it'll go directly into my bank account, and then we'll get it going. Well, the fun part, and I came up with this crazy idea that anybody who orders a copy will have the opportunity to send me an email with your most challenging business question. I guess it doesn't have to be business. That's my specialty. But send me your most challenging business question if you subscribe. And in return, my email back to you will define what your next steps ought to be in finding an answer to that question. I might be able to address it directly if I have experience in the question. If I don't have experience in the question, I will get you going in the route, in the journey that you need to. I'll give you a starting roadmap so that you can gather the information you need. But that in itself, the ability to ask a question and to find next steps, there are businesses in this country, and I read about them all the time, and I know it's a fact. They will pay an individual. His name is Jay Abraham. They will pay him as much as $250,000 to get the answers to their questions, and also to learn the system, the program, the machine that Jay has put together in the last 40 years. He certainly is the voice of business, and people will pay as much as a quarter. They might even pay more than that because it's Jay. But for the price of $29.99, you'll be able to subscribe to the video email, which will have a chapter, a part of the book as a PDF file, and it will also have a video, which will bring you up to date for things that need to be done. So let's take a look. I even have started to define the words, the ABC words. Come on, get rid of that. Okay, words beginning with A, and it's very, very fitting and proper that the first. Oh, I have to explain this. Out of the 749 questions that I have in the book, every question creates a keyword index term. And whereas there were 749 questions, there were 1,000 small business keywords that needed attention, directed you to the question. So when you got the book, if you had a certain question in mind, you would go to the keyword index, just like you would do a search engine or your favorite AI. You would go to the keyword index and look for what it is you're looking for and see what the question is. That's how it works. So in me wanting to provide answers, I am going to take approximately 150 of the 749 or of the 1,000 keywords that I created, small business keywords, and address them either in story form, Well, in story form and in video, some type of video form, yet to be determined. So AI was the absolute first A word, because I will have to say, in my 55 years of publishing, I have never seen such an impact on publishing as what AI is doing, and has only been doing for a couple years, less than 3 years. It's amazing. And so AI is something that anybody, you could be in business or not in business, uh, AI is bringing very important uh, thoughts to your current thinking. And what AI is basically, instead of doing a Google search of what information you want, you can now do an AI search on. There's millions of platforms where you can do an AI search, and uh, that is today's Google search, as I see it. Uh, and what it does is it creates more databases. And now the race is to see how many databases can be connected for the best AI technology platform. It's fascinating to watch all this goes in. And I have a friend. Well, you'll see him. You can see him in a YouTube that I've done. Uh, Dustin Stout. He has developed. He's one of the AI developers, and he's an AI developer that I can trust because we've had conversations. And the thing I like most about Dustin is that, well, and his AI uh, technology platform is that not only is he a developer and he writes the code, he writes the algorithms that are needed to make things happen, but he has in and of himself a very creative marketing and sales mindset. So he's a wonderful person to. I I pay Magai, Magai. I pay them uh, 19.99. I just paid it yesterday. 19.99 a month, and I do have a limit because I'm a level one. I think I have the ability to, at my level, to generate. I don't remember. It might be 100,000 total words. So as soon as I've done enough uh, searches, if you will, that 100,000 words are created, then I'll have to go to the next level, buy some more. Which I'm laughing, but definitely it's worth it because it makes the information that uh, we bring to the marketplace. It creates a greater value, and as you know, marketing and sales, value and trust is describes very well Project 10,000 and what it is we're trying to do. So we got the AI stuff going on, and I won't have time to do a in-depth conversation. I'll go quickly. Uh, Actually, the A words, I've limited the A words to 3 words. AI, which is 2 words. uh, one concept. Advertising, use of the word advertising. Uh, I have been using the word advertising for the last 55 years, but the way I use it today is dramatically different than I used it 50 years ago, 55 years ago. I do not have the word advertising basically in my vocabulary as such. It is marketing and sales. Uh, advertising to me is kind of old school. Marketing and sales is very, very new school and extremely important in understanding what's happening in today's world. And the third A word is attorneys. Um, if you are, if you have a business or starting a business, and you have things that need to be protected, such as your intellectual property, uh, or just legal things, liabilities, you must have contact and communication with an attorney. I don't as much as I used to. For sure, I don't as much as I used to. Actually, I've had opportunities in my life where I went to small claims court here in Cincinnati in Hamilton County. I went to small claims court without an attorney to handle business issues because you do not need to bring an attorney to small claims court. It just so happens that in every case, I went to small claims court with a claim against another business for such and such a reason. They hired attorneys, their attorneys. I know whose attorneys they were, but I definitely in small claims court have gone up against $1,000 an hour attorneys, and I held my own. Okay, B words. It looks like I've only got 2 B words. Baby boomers. I am a proud baby boomer. I became a baby boomer in the 3rd year that baby boomers were in existence. The definition of a baby boomer is someone who was born after 1946 and before 1964. If you were born in that those 18 years, I think it's 18 years. Yes, if you're born in those 18 years, um, you are a baby boomer. Now, baby boomers have done great things in our lifetimes. We have brought great value to the marketplace, to our lives, to the conversation over the years. Uh, there are too many baby boomers right now who are standing in the way, I believe, and should step aside and let younger folks determine what's going to be happening. And we're seeing uh, it's. I think it's funny. Not funny. It's interesting. It's interesting what we're seeing happening in today's world. How it's happening is totally bizarre, but it's happening. And wow, another conversation. The other B word is behavioral. The most important um, concept in marketing and sales is behavioral. We have to understand the behaviors of those folks to whom we are trying to market and sell to. We have to understand their behaviors, or we're not going to make the sale. Number one, we have to have an understanding what additional value we must bring to the marketplace. And then now more so than ever, the trust levels uh, have to be established right now because the source of information is out of hand. Way too much information is available. And so we have to uh, we have to figure out what is best to improve our lives and the lives of those folks around us who want to collaborate with us to find those values. So great things, great things. Uh, Unfortunately, uh, In college, I never took a marketing or business course of any kind. I never took a psychology course of any kind. Had I would probably be a much further along. Not probably. I would be further along, and probably not having as much fun. Oh, I take it back. I take back what I just said to you. I have more than two B words. It's because spacing. Okay, another B word. Best in class. Uh, Everybody else is saying they are best in class. What can you share and demonstrate that shows, indeed, and indicates, creates beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are the best in class at what it is that you are presenting? Another B word, bootstrapping. Trust me on this one. I am a champion on bootstrapping in business. I don't want to go into it right now, but I have been bootstrapping, and it's worked for me for 55 years. There's a couple times where I didn't need to be bootstrapping because other people's money was making things happen, but must understand how to what bootstrapping is and how to best do it. Brand. Once again, many things can be said about brand. I have three specific topics that we'll share about different aspects of branding. I created the brand Dreaming with Entrepreneurs LLC in 2007, the same year that I wrote a book in the last 100 days of that year. The book indeed contributes to my branding. Small Biz David knows the questions to ask. Very important part of my branding. And as I said, I developed the character of Small Biz David, who's behind me, right there. That was for the YouTube people, for the Facebook people, right there. Oh, this two camera thing. So, obviously, the main B word in the ABCs of entrepreneurship is business, big or small. It doesn't matter to me. I have definitely dealt with many more small businesses in my 55 years, but there was a period of my life in the 90s. Actually, it was only a 5-year period from 1994 to 1999, where I had access to 19 of the 52 largest insurance companies in the country, based upon my expertise at that time. So I gotta do something about the settings. But there is a warning, and the warning goes to small businesses that if you have a small business, one person and up, I have been a solopreneur for most of my life, many years a solopreneur than not a solopreneur. Well, all but 2 of the years of the last 55, I've been a solopreneur. But you must pay attention to the IRS definition of what is a hobby. I was, at one period of my life, I was generating expenses, but not generating revenue. I was doing things, but not generating revenue, but I was spending money, investing money to do whatever needed to be done. And so when it came time to file a 1099 form, I didn't have any income to report, just expenses, and so I didn't pay taxes in those 3 years. And I was having a conversation with my friend Barbara Waltman, who is the #1 small business tax expert in this country. Barbara and I have been live streaming on YouTube. We did our first YouTube in 2008. Uh, she told me, well, she made a suggestion. Well, first of all, she told me that the IRS might be a hobby, and if you show that pattern for more than 3 years, in the 4th year that you do that, the IRS will examine your account, your business. They will audit because of the difference between a hobby and a business. So make sure you understand that, and you actually can get an answer to that in Barbara's book, Yellow and Red book, Small Business Taxes 2025, available at Amazon or your favorite bookstore. Barbara for sure will define it for you. But one thing she told me to do, suggested that I do back in it's probably not quite 10 years ago that she made the suggestion. She said, David, you ought to get some software, not that expensive, Intuit software, and create your own tax return. And I took her advice. I wasn't going to submit it, but I created it. And what it did for me, it gave me an understanding, a total understanding of my business that I never really had because I didn't take the time to do it. But preparing this tax return made me take the time to think about it. So it was a wonderful exercise. So I took the return that I generated from that software. I took a copy of that. I didn't submit it to the IRS. Instead, I took it to my CPA, who I had, and rather than him charging me the fee that he and I had agreed upon, which was a lot larger than the hourly fee he agreed to, because I was bringing him the information on a tax form that he certainly was familiar with, and he would just spend less than an hour of his time, maybe 10 minutes of his time, auditing what I had already created, and then suggesting, then we would create the final product to submit. It was a wonderful exercise that I recommend to anybody in business that is not doing it already. Business expertise, business cycle. Business is very cyclical, and each business is going to be different. The cycles are going to be different, except if you're in traditional retail, Main Street retail, as I see it. Online retail has taken the cycle out of business cycles for Main Street retail, business retail. So you have to understand cycles and how they work and how they are applicable to your business. It's not a difficult exercise, actually. And one of the things that I'm sure I will get into, that you can take this traditional business cycle, and if it's a downtime for you, what you can be doing to create some new additional, another C word, cash flow, additional cash flow. It's a C word coming up here, a very, very important C word. And within the business, create a business model. We talk a lot about models. You've heard some conversation today already about my business model. Mentor coach. You must have a mentor and or coach. They can be two different folks doing that, but you should have one of the two to put a perspective on what it is that you are doing. I've never really I was never paying anybody, investing in anybody to coach me on business, but I have made investments over the years about people mentoring me. And needless to say, in my 55 years, I have mentored a lot of folks in business. But in your business model, the thing that I will stress, and it's a lesson that I learned from Brian Tracy, one of my mentors, who I've invested money in and have been reading, following him for 20 years. Brian emphasizes time and time again that things must be done very simply and with clarity. Simple and with clarity. If you get out of that realm too much, too many things could happen. People could misinterpret what it is that you're trying to do because you have not communicated it well. You haven't been simple and clear with the explanation of what it is and what value you will bring into that person's life, be it business value, be it a personal value. In You have to have a plan. You must have a plan. I am. I call my plan a work in progress because I have a plan. I write it down. I create goals and objectives. Create a plan, and there are 13 topics that I will address in the business plan category. Business strategy, extremely important. Do you understand the strategy? Do you understand your strategy? Do you understand what your strategy should be? You must be able to answer that question, or maybe you have a hobby, and that's okay. You can have a hobby and do those things. I encourage hobbies, but your business strategy must include flexibility to change. If you must change, and you have to be flexible in your strategy that you make the change. When I have in one of my strategies, when I go out and I do my research and I do my study and whatever it is that I'm doing, I might change my strategy based upon the information that I am getting. I can tell you absolutely that happened. I have been developing Project 10,000 essentially for more than 4 years by doing different kinds of testing. It looked differently. It was called something else, but it all worked up to Project 10,000 by pieces. And that's why my strategy changed. That's why I'm a work in progress. Every single day, I feel it's my personal obligation and the value that I bring to the market. I try to create more value, something that I haven't thought about to bring to the marketplace. And in fact, the fact that I am taking 55 years of experiences and overlaying AI. Oh, I don't know if I made it totally clear. the book, Grandpa David, What's an Entrepreneur? It's going to be an AI adaptation of what I have been doing for the last 55 years. And specifically the last 17 years digitally, actually 18 years digitally, that I have been doing on Alphabet, Google, YouTube servers, who's ever server. 99.9% of all the content that I have created is on a Google, YouTube, Alphabet server somewhere in the cloud, on a cloud somewhere. And so for me to overlay Google's AI technology, which I do, I am creating a bot, if you will, and a small biz David AI bot, and having a lot of fun, obviously doing it. It's a great way to bring together the last 55 years of publishing, and that's why I'm very, very excited about the book, digital book. Buying decision, another B word, buying decision, 2 words. Always establish upfront who makes the buying decision that we are going to discuss. Who makes that decision? In my life, I will only talk with a yes or no person within a company with whom I want to collaborate. I'm looking for them. They're not looking for me necessarily. I'm looking for them. I'm a direct marketer. I do my research. I make a list of companies that I know I can bring value to their marketing and sales value trust story. So that's why I pick them out. But it's okay. It's okay for somebody to say we live in a binary world. We live in a yes or no world. It's okay to say no, not interested. That's okay. There are enough people who are interested in Project 10,000 that we'll find them when the time is right, because these are P words. I'm going to give you a heads up on some P words you'll hear. Whatever, passion, persistence, and patience. You have to be passionate about what it is you're doing, and because you are passionate about it, you are going to be persistent in telling the story, telling it in a different way, bringing something different in the next story, but you must be patient in the outcome. The outcome will come if your passion and persistence are directed in something that brings value to another person's life or their business. That time will come when it comes. You must be patient until that time comes. But we got off on a tangent, as I so often like to do. Understand clearly who makes the buying decision. And I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm going to quickly go through the C words. We're at an hour now, so thank you if you're still with me. C words: collaboration in business. That is what business is all about, is the collaborations that we form. And we form those collaborations by being able to share another C word: case studies, experiences, stories about what has happened to us. Let's make it happen to you by the learnings that we got in making it happen. Once again, going back to studying marketing and sales behaviors, cash flow, big C word, CFO, Chief Financial Officer, real quickly. Um, the reason I put the CFO in is there you need to have somebody who looks at the numbers to see how real the numbers are that you are creating. I have been very blessed. My CFO is someone who walked into my indoor cycling class that I was teaching literally 20 years ago. He walked into my class and we stayed friends the, the whole time. And once every 4 to 6 weeks today, now we meet face to face, and I share with Bill things. I share what's going on. I bring him written plans, ideas, executed ideas. This is what's happening. This is what I did. This is what happened. Bill is the only one. He's the only one that sees all of that information from me. And Bill, thank you, because I know you'll see this this YouTube. You'll see this. Well, I might send it to you or send it to you directly, or you'll see it in LinkedIn. That's where you see most of the stuff that I post. You see it and comment in LinkedIn. So, Bill, check your LinkedIn. Change. We talked about change. Another C is comfort zone. Uh, I don't have time, obviously, to get into it. There's a whole comfort zone mentality. We'll talk about communication, competitors. I think I'm going to end the conversation, today's conversation, with the C word, competitors. In my mind, AI is your and everyone else's competition. So be creative. That's what happens when you use your AI creatively and cautiously, making sure that you bring more value to the marketplace, and you bring it in such a way and share it in a video like I am doing right now to develop the trust that needs to be developed in making decisions in today's world. Thank you for your time today. I hope you have been able to take away at least one thing that you learned today. If you did, great. If you didn't and you're wondering why, send me an email to dleopold@davidsbarter.com. Wherever that is. Couldn't have gotten too far away. Oh, there it is. dleopold@davidsbarter.com. Send me an email and you will get an answer to that email. And if it's a business question, for sure, you will go to the next level of the question you're asking. I will take you to that next level and go from there. Thank you for your 59. Now it's got to be an hour and 4 minutes, an hour, 4 minutes and 10 seconds of your time today. We'll see you real soon. And remember what Jaime Williams told me 60 years ago: the next time we see each other may very well be the best time. Enjoy your day.